In today's video, the guaranteed way you can start losing weight.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and today I am going to give you my answer to the guaranteed way you can start losing weight. And what I want to explain here is the reason for this video, which is I get a lot of questions, a lot of DMs, a lot of messages on YouTube, and it goes something like this. Hey, I've been on a diet, I'm in a caloric deficit, the scale is not moving, I'm not getting any leaner. Okay, what are you eating? This is my diet. Okay, this is my calories. Okay. Do you eat anything off of this? Well, not usually. I don't usually eat off of the plan. What's your cardio like? Well, I'm pretty active. I do this. Okay, first rule of thumb when it comes to weight loss and trying to get leaner is that you're not in a caloric deficit if you're not seeing the scale trend down over time, okay? So that is your first indicator. And now, a lot of us can get caught up in this idea that we should be eating a lot of calories. But the average basal metabolic rate for a male is only 1,600 calories. And for a woman, 1,300 calories. So this idea that we should all be eating 3,000 calories and losing weight, well, it's just not true. We tend to see some of these genetic outliers as representations of what we should be doing. But as individuals, we need to pay attention to what's going on in our bodies and what we're okay with happening. And by that I mean, if you eat 1,200 calories a day and you feel good, well, good for you. There's no reason why you should feel any pressure to eat 2,000 calories a day, okay? Just because that's what tends to be the going number that we hear all the time, there are lots of variations in that. So I'm going to give you my quick hitting way to guarantee that you're going to see fat loss, okay? And that is to remove all variables. And the easiest way to do that, and the way that I do it with my clients when we get into a plan and things aren't happening, is I say this simple thing. And I actually learned this from Dr. Joe Klemczewski. So this was some advice he gave me a while back, and I have since used it with great results. And it's simply this. Eat the exact same meals for several days in a row. The other part of that equation is that you have to prepare these meals, okay? So no more eating out, no more having anyone else prepare you food. For 3 days, you must prepare and eat the exact same meals every single day. Now, what does this accomplish? Well, it eliminates a huge variable. Because even though it's very trendy now to go with your app to the store, get some food from, let's say, a Chipotle or any restaurant that you go to and you plug it in, those are highly estimated numbers based on what was given to the restaurant as nutrition facts. But the person that prepares your food that day, they're not basing your meal on the app. You know, there's going to be a huge difference in the amount of calories that you get just based on that, okay? So we're eliminating that. Why? Because you're going to be at home, you're going to prepare your food, you're going to put it in the fridge, and you're going to eat it when it's time to eat. So there's that. You're going to eliminate the possibility that your calories are being influenced by someone else preparing your food. Another huge thing, digestion, okay? When you eat the exact same foods every day, food becomes very predictable. You digest it very predictably. You might notice some issues with digestion, or you might improve some. Either way, you'll know what it's from, okay? Now, I don't expect this to be sustained forever. This is not about doing the same exact meals forever. This is just about developing this pattern to see what's going on with you, okay? The final thing that I feel is really important with digestion and eating the same foods every day is you're not going to have any huge fluctuations in sodium. You know, even if we eat the same exact foods, the same exact calories, but we have a huge fluctuation in sodium, well, that's going to cause some shifts to the scale based on fluid balance. If you do this, if you take 3 days, eat the exact same foods, and see how your body is responding, I promise you, you're going to kickstart some weight loss. And if you don't, guess what? You're not in a caloric deficit, okay? So you need to make sure you're tracking your calories in your diet properly, and then you're having consistent patterns. And then, if there's nothing happening, well, then we know we need to create a caloric deficit. How do we create a caloric deficit? Well, simply through either more activity or less calories. And if your calories are already low, activity is probably going to be your better bet, okay? So that's something I can't specifically give you without knowing a lot more information. For my clients, I take in an intake form, we have a phone call, I learn a lot about them. I don't have that luxury with you with this video. My point for this video is that everyone that's reaching out to me, and I love it, I want to help everyone, But understand that to get things started, you just need to find a baseline. You need to find a baseline for your diet, a baseline for your activity. That kind of black and white information, the least variables possible, is going to allow you to make the adjustments necessary. Also, kind of a sneaky Miyagi trick is that you have to prepare your own food. And when people start preparing their own food, well, you're actually learning the habits that are gonna sustain you for a long period of time. One of the biggest problems with obesity right now is the convenience of food. Well, if you get in the habit of preparing your own food, as I do, my wife and I cook several times a day often, well, it really helps with maintaining your weight or working towards your goals. And if that's not something that's a reality for you, well, I am sponsored by a company called Icon Meals, and I get 10% for you off those meals. So if you'd like to try Icon Meals, they ship directly to your house, they list the macros, and these are foods that I feel are much more trustworthy sources. They measure them and weigh them before they put them in the package, freeze them, and ship them. So although it's not prepared by you, it is the next best thing, all right? All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. Hopefully this helps. My guaranteed way for you to start losing weight is to start being very predictable, being very consistent with your diet, okay? Eat the exact same meals 3 days in a row, and let's see what happens. Give me some feedback below, guys. I'd love to hear it, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.